Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make a Bubu gown designed with ASO-OKE pieces. So for the cutting of the fabric, we're going to be using a mini size material, but we're going to show the full material later on. I'm making this dress for a plus size client and she got 2 yards of fabric which is 36 inches into 2. So I literally just cut the front and the back piece. The front piece is going to be later divided into 2. So for the back piece, we're going to be using 6 inches for the width and then 2 inches for the depth. But here I'm just using small sizes because it's a mini size. And then for the front, I'm going to be using 6 by 6 inches. So this is the back piece and this is how the front piece looks like before we start applying and putting on all the ASO-OKE to make it look embellished and nice as possible. So this is for the straps. For the straps, we have about 22 inches by 6, 22 inches by 6, but we actually divided that 6 again into 2, so it's 22 inches by 3. So we're going to fold it. This is the first strap that we're folding. We're going to fold the second, the third and the fourth because we need 2 pieces up and then another 2 pieces on the other side, one on the left and one on the right side. When we're done, we're also going to fold up the part that we're going to be placing that's going to be looking like a false pocket on the right side, on one side of the fabric, the front part. To create those design patches of the ASO-OKE on the plain fabric, we need 2 pieces of the ASO-OKE. So one piece is about 6.5 inch and the length we're using by placing both together is 14 inches. So it's literally, let's just approximate it, 14 by 14 inches for both of them. We need to place one ASO-OKE on the other because the design really is going to be like as broad as this. So this is the size we're using for it. So after getting all the pieces of the ASO-OKE ready, we're now going to place one on the left side because the left side has a design around the neck area. We're going to place it here and then we're going to cut out the same pattern. I'm leaving a few inches in front, about 1 inch, because that's the inches required for the zip allowance. So we're going to just place this at the corner here and this is the lining we're going to turn in as the facing before putting, ironing it out and then using hemming gun for all that. So now first we have to sew the design on the fabric first before we can now start thinking of placing the lining on top to turn out the neck so that it's more balanced and it's okay. Then around the edge we're going to be folding in 1/2 inch. That's at this lower part. We're going to fold in 1/2 inch and sew it. The other part I'm not really turning it in because ASO-OKE doesn't pull. It already has woven edges that doesn't tend to pull except you're the one that actually cut it. So for those parts I'm not going to be folding them in at all except the other part that I actually cut, and this is where we're going to fix in the false pocket. I'm just going to stitch it at the top and then place the straps on top of it and fix it at the bottom area. For the second part, we have one part of the ASO-OKE placed first and then the second one placed on top of it with a difference of few inches. So first I have to fold the top part of it because it's going to definitely look like a pocket, like 2-step pocket. So the first part for the pocket and then the second part I'm folding about 1/2 inch, 1 inch, sorry, for the pockets before we can now place them on top of each other on the main plain fabric. After ironing the pockets, we're going to measure 10 inch on the plain fabric and then place one piece of the pocket first before placing the next one, giving a difference of about 5 inches. So first we're going to pin the first pocket and then later we're going to bring in the second one. We're just going to sew it straight. Remember when I said that the edge of the ASO-OKE doesn't really pull? So we're going to be sewing at the edge of the ASO-OKE and we're going to fold in 1/2 inch at the end part. I've already folded in 1/2 inch, please, in case you For the second pocket, we're just going to do the same thing that we did for the first pocket and then fold ½ inch at the edge, the under part of it. Now we're going to measure 5 inches from the top of the second pocket down to around the middle part, the middle area, and then we're going to measure 5 inches and place the straps from there so that it flows down to the edge of the dress. Now we are going to place the lining of the front part and then the lining of the back part, attaching it to the clothes after we've already done the design of the ASO-OKE and everything. This is the front piece, the 2 front pieces before stitching them together to be one, and then we're going to like do little notches on it. We're just going to cut the fabric little so that the clothes can be relaxed, it doesn't show, it doesn't puff up, before we start giving it a good ironing and everything is looking nice and good. After ironing, you're going to bring the left side and the right side of the front. You're going to place them together. Remember when I said we have 1 inch to close up for the zip allowance? We're going to close up that 1 inch. After closing up that 1 inch, we're going to join the shoulder of the front and of the back together, which is what we're doing right now. After you've done that, you're going to open up the shoulder and we're going to measure about 13 inches on both sides. That is what is going to be representing the armhole. It's quite big, but it's going to be okay for the plus size clients. 13 inches on both sides. We're going to use it to close, since we didn't really cut out a T-cut parts for the armhole side. So do well to fold 1 inch on the marked 13 inches that you've already done. After you've done that, we're going to close up the body parts just by 1 inch. We're going to close up the body part. We're going to fold the edge of the fabric by 1 inch as well. You're actually going to fold yours based on the person that you're sewing for, and this is the end result. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, do also like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.